to Crooked Yoga, episode 11 already. Thanks for tuning in. We'll go ahead and get started. Begin in a comfortable seat. You can sit up on a blanket, towel, a block. You can sit up against the wall. Place your hands to the tops of your thighs, or if you prefer, place your palms together in front of your heart. Lower your gaze or softly close your eyes. Turn your attention inward and settle into your seat. Settle into your breath. Slowly lower your hands, open your eyes. And begin on hands and knees, please. If the floor is uncomfortable underneath your knees, you can use a blanket underneath it. But line up the middle of your wrist with your outer shoulders and spread your fingers wide. Turn your index fingers to point straight ahead, and with your inhale, lengthen the sides of your torso. Exhale, round your spine for cat pose. Inhale, cow pose. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and soften your upper back. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cat. Exhale, cat. Keep moving and breathing at your own pace. With your next inhale, make your way back to a neutral spine. Lift your chin, look forward. Bring your big toes together, widen your knees a little wider than your hips, and still looking forward, sit your hips back to your heels. Crawl your right hand out, crawl your left hand out, then lower your forehead to the floor, a blanket or a block. Push your hands down and make your arms strong. Even lift your inner shoulders a little. Then push from your shoulders into your hands and use that to sit your hips back towards your heels. Then make your way back up to hands and knees. Line up the middle of your wrists again with your outer shoulders. Spread your fingers, turn your index fingers straight ahead, and grip the floor with your hands. And walk your knees back 6 to 8 inches, and for down dog, curl your toes under, lift your hips up and back. Feel free to widen your feet and or bend your knees. This is also a great time to bring any movement into your down dog. But like your child's pose, push your hands down, lift your armpits up. Then push from your shoulders into your hands and use that to stretch your hips back. If your legs are straight, reach your thighs back. And in all cases, reach your heels back and down. If it doesn't detract, stretch from your spine. Bring your inner feet together. Look toward your hands. Step your right foot in between your hands. If it doesn't quite get there, you can help it along. Turn your back heel to the floor so your back toes turn to the left, and place both hands inside of your front foot. You can stay here with your wrists under your shoulders or walk your hands forward and at a slight diagonal to the left. Squeeze your feet toward each other. Move your right outer hip back. Widen your front knee. Then push your hands down and out. Reach your hips back and stretch from your hips through your feet. Gently walk your hands in, frame your front foot with your hands, lift your back heel. Stay in your lunge, but widen your left hand slightly. Twist in your upper body to the right and extend your right arm toward the ceiling. In any lunges, to make them more doable, you can always lower your back knee. However, in the twist, the back hip tends to dip, so lift your back hip up. Squeeze your right outer hip, left inner thigh together. Tone your abdomen in. Lean your head and shoulders back, and then twist in your upper body to the right. Lower your top hand. Down dog, feet together. Look toward your hands. Step your left foot in between your hands. Help it along as needed. And for down dog lunge, turn your back heels to the floor. So your back toes turn to the right. Place your hands inside of your front foot. Stay here, walk them forward, and at a slight diagonal to the right. Squeeze your feet toward each other. Move your left outer hip back, widen your left knee. Tone your lowest belly in and up. Then push your hands down and out. Stretch your hips back and reach from your hips through your feet. Gently walk your hands in. Turn your back heel up. Widen your right hand slightly, lean into your right hand. Twist in your upper body to the left and extend your left arm up. Remember, you can lower your back knee. Otherwise, lift your back thigh. Squeeze your left outer hip, right inner thigh toward each other. Then tone your abdomen. Lean your head and shoulders back. Turn across your chest to the left and stretch your hands apart. Lower your top hand to the floor. Step back down. Bring your feet together. Inhale, plank pose with your knees on or off the floor. Exhale, hips up, down dog. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, down dog. Keep moving. If after your plank pose you'd like to add a push-up, feel free. No matter where you are, keep your index knuckles rooted firmly into your mat. Keep your abdomen toned and keep your head lifted to the height of your shoulders. The next time you're in plank pose, lower all the way down. Uncurl your toes. Straighten your arms by your sides. Turn your palms up. Lift everything except your hips and bottom ribs away from the floor. Squeeze your thighs in, shoulders in. Lift your wrists to the height of your shoulders. Reach your feet back, hands back, shoulders back, and extend your chest forward. Lower down. Place your palms to the floor. Curl your toes under. Press back to down dog. Bring the inner edges of your feet together. Then lift your heels. Lower your knees to the floor and have a seat on your heels with your toes still curled. Place your palms together in front of your heart. Lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Soften your gaze. Interlace your hands in front of you, turn your palms away. Lift your chest to your upper arms. If this is becoming too much on your knees or your hips or your feet, you can lift your hips up. Stay here, move your arms up and back, more in line with your ears. Reach your inner heels back, move your ribs back. Lift your chest, lift your chin, and as you push your hands up, also move your upper arms back. This is elevated thunderbolt. All right, release your hands. Bring your palms outside of your chest, look to the top of your mat, that's your target. So for Ashtangasana, 8 angle pose, you're gonna aim your chest and your chin and your hands on the floor, hips are up. Lower, hands to the floor, shoulders on your back, lower your chest and chin to the floor. Squeeze your legs in, squeeze your abs in, and then like you did in your locust pose, lift your shoulders onto your back. Stay here, hover your hands away from the floor. Lower your hands down, knees back, so you're lying on the front of your body. Bring your forehead to the floor and rest. Extend your arms by your sides. You can repeat arms straight or interlace your hands underneath you, behind your low back. Hands bound behind your back. Squeeze your shoulders on your back. Keep your elbows bent until you can prioritize your chest open. Then lift everything except your hips and bottom ribs away from the floor. Straighten your legs, point your tailbone down. Draw your shoulders on your back, reach your shoulders back, knuckles back, chest forward. Lower down. Roll over so you're lying on your back, please. Draw your knees into your chest for plank child's pose. Catch your breath. Lift your legs toward the ceiling. Either interlace your hands behind your head, point your elbows up, and lift your head and shoulders away from the floor, or wedge your arms to your outer torso and lower your head back to the floor. That one will give you more low back support. Whichever variation you choose, tone your abdomen in, round your back into the floor. Take an inhale. Exhale, lower one or both feet to hover above the floor. This is leg lifts. With each inhale, lift. And with each exhale, lower. Move at your pace. Choose a pace that feels challenging but ultimately successful. And as you lower your feet, lift your tailbone and like cat pose round your spine so that all parts of your back are touching the floor. Let your head be heavy into your hands a little. Be sure you're even side to side. Then draw your knees into your chest, wrap your arms around your shins. Allow your low back to round. Lower your feet to the floor. Bring your feet hip width apart, parallel to each other, which takes a little bit of guesswork. So do your best. Walk your heels back to your hips. Push your elbows into the floor and walk your upper arms and your shoulder blades underneath you. Lift your hips up, bridge pose. Hold the outer edges of your mat with your hands or interlace your hands underneath your low back. Push your elbows down, and if your hands are bound, bring your hands to the floor too. Pull your hands apart, shoulder blades together, and shrug your shoulders towards your ears to shorten your neck, but lengthen the sides of your waist. Gently release your hands, lower your hips. Widen your feet and let your knees rest in. You might have to move your feet away from the trunk of your body too. The next pose is reclined lunge. It's a similar relationship of the leg to the torso as down dog lunge. I'll talk you through it. Straighten your legs on your mat, bring your legs together. Keep your left leg as it is, draw your right knee in. Interlace your hands around your right shin and then widen your right leg. You can stay in this variation, or with your right arm inside of your leg, catch your outer right foot with your right hand. Hold your inner right foot with your left hand and point the sole of your right foot up. This is a bent knee pose. Push your foot into your hands into your foot. It's similar to like a happy baby, just on your right leg. Then reach through your left heel. You can even hover it above the floor to create more strength. Breathe evenly. It's going to be a link of 3 poses before we switch sides. Keep your right leg as it is. Place your left foot to the floor in front of your hips like your bridge pose. Push your right foot into your hands and begin to straighten your right leg. You can also do hands behind your thigh, or you can keep your knee bent to any variation, any degree rather. But let your head be heavy on the floor. This is reclined bowing sage. Point your left knee up. Squeeze your right outer hip in. And push your hand or your foot or thigh into your hands. Rebend your right knee. And your right knee off to the side so that your foot turns in. And then cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Keep your left foot on the floor or interlace your hands behind your left thigh or around the front of your left shin. Flex your right foot. Squeeze your right heel towards your hips. And use your arms to draw your leg in. Gently release your legs. Draw both knees in, recline child's pose between sides. Release your legs onto your mat, bring your legs together, recline mountain. So reclined lunge first. Draw your left knee in. Interlace your hands around the front of your shin and you can stay here. Or bring your left arm inside of your leg, hold your outer left foot with your left hand, inner left foot with your right hand, and point the sole of your left foot up. Push your foot into your hands and pull your hands into your foot. Then reach through your right heel. You can even hover your right foot. Bring some weight into the right side of your body. And bring some softening somewhere in the features of your face. Keep your left leg as it is, bend your right knee, place your foot to the floor. Push your left foot into your hands. Begin to straighten your left leg. You can interlace your hands behind your thigh instead, or keep your left leg bent. Point your right knee up. Squeeze your left outer hip in. Push your foot into your hands or your thigh into your hands. And let your head be heavy. Rebend your left knee. Turn your knee out and your foot in and cross your left ankle over your right thigh. You can keep your right foot on the floor or draw your knees in. Repeat whatever you did on the first side. To stabilize your left knee, flex your left foot and draw your arms in. Legs in with your arms. Gently release your legs. Draw both legs in, recline child's pose. Lower your feet to the floor. Roll over so you're lying on the front of your body, please. Place your palms to the floor either outside of your chest or outside of your middle ribs for cobra pose. Push the tops of your feet into the floor until your legs get strong. Tone your abdomen in. Then before you lift your chest, lift your shoulders so the fronts of your shoulders move onto your back. While fronts of shoulders lift, get your shoulder blades on your back. It's more accurate. Tone your abdomen in. Stay here or now lift your head and chest up, but keep moving your shoulders back. Drag your hands back, chest forward. Lift your chin. Lengthen the back of your skull. Lower down. Child's pose, please. You can do any variation of child's pose you wish. If you prefer down dog over child's pose, you can do that instead too. Lean forward into your hands, tabletop, and walk your tabletop forward a little bit. Curl your toes under, bring your inner feet together, but widen your knees so that your knees are a little bit wider than your outer hips. Have a seat, hips on heels, with your toes still curled under. All right, you're gonna place the pulse point of your wrist just in front of your kneecaps, and with your fingers spread, point your index finger straight ahead. Aim to have your hands slightly wider than your shoulders, the way they were for down dog. If that's not happening, narrow your hands and your knees. Push your hands down, look straight down or a little out, and then for a pose called toe breaker cat, tone your abdomen in, round your upper back, and reach your heels back. You can stay here and come out when you're done. You can do child's pose instead, or for an arm balance called crow pose, push into your hands, lift your knees, and roll more towards your heels. Work the sides of your torso down your thighs, and then work your upper arms down your shins. Place your palms to the floor like you had them for toe breaker cat. Squeeze your inner feet in, lift your heels, not hips, and transfer your weight into your hands. Lift one or both feet potentially, and if both feet are lifted, bring your inner feet together, pull your outer feet back. Squeeze your legs in, arms out, and reach your chest forward similar to your crow pose. Cobra pose. Lower your feet. Lower your knees. At the top of your mat, place your forearms, interlace your hands. Make your elbows a little wider than your shoulders and push the base of your wrists into the floor. Walk your knees back, curl your toes under, and like down dog, lift your hips up. This is a pose called dolphin pose. You can widen your feet or bend your knees, but aim to get your hips high. Aim to move your upper arms and your armpits forward, and then soften your upper back down. It's a bug on me. Lower your knees to the floor. Place your hands to the floor, set up for down dog. Then down dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Lift your gaze toward your hands. Step or hop your feet forward. And at the front of your mat, fold over your legs. Bend your knees enough to get your bottom ribs in contact with your thighs. Bring your fingertips to the floor, either in front of your feet or outside of your feet. Stretch your chest toward your feet. Look down or in towards your shins. Place your hands to your hips. Squeeze your shoulders on your back. With your inhale, stick them. Exhale, lower your arms by your sides. Okay, you can stay at the front of your mat. I'm going to turn just so you can see me. Bring the inner edges of your feet together. Lift your arms overhead. Place your palms together, interlace your fingers, and extend your index fingers up. So you've got a firm grip and extension. Lean back into your heels. Stretch up through your hands. Lean your torso to the left, crescent pose. Move your hips to the right. Move your left shoulder more forward. Move your ribs in. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Then push into your right heel and pull with your left hand. Think about flaring your right ribs to lift the side of your rib cage higher. Come back up, stretch up, lower your arms down. Inhale, lift your arms up. Interlace your hands the other way, the way that feels like you're holding somebody else's hand. Not during COVID. Place your fingertips together, stretch up. Lean your weight back into your heels, move your ribs back. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Then lean your torso to the right, hips to the left. Move your right shoulder blade more forward. Move your ribs in. Lift your chest, lift your chin. Push into your left heel. Reach your right hand out and think about flaring your outer left ribs to get that side of your rib cage to move out more, out and up even. Come back up, stretch up, lower your arms down. Eagle arms, reach your arms off to the sides. Cross your left arm underneath your right and hold your shoulder blades. Lift your chest, lengthen your spine. Stay here, bring the backs of your hands or your palms together in front of your face. Reach your elbows out and down. Pull your abdomen towards your spine and your elbows towards your abdomen. Keep that, but then lift your chest into your upper arms. Lengthen your spine. So as much as your elbows are moving down, your chest is moving out. Out and up. Release your arms off to the sides, up overhead. Then switch. Right arm under, hold your shoulder blades. Stay here, bring the backs of your hands or your palms together in front of your face. It's okay for your shoulders, reach your elbows out, down, lift your chest up into your upper arms. So your elbows are still moving down even as your chest lifts up. It's up into the resistance of your arms. Gently release your arms out to the side, up overhead. Lower your arms by your sides. Okay. Step to the middle of your mat, turn to face the long edge of your mat, and if you have a block or something that you can use in place of a block, it might be helpful. Triangle pose is next. If you're using a prop, bring it into your right hand. Take a wide stance, please. Lift your wrists to the height of your shoulders, and a wide stance is ankles under wrists. And if you think that your height is from fingertip to fingertip, your feet are pretty wide. Turn your right foot open to the right, widen your left heel slightly. Bend your right knee a little and lean your hips to the left. Lean your torso to the right and place your hand or your block to the floor outside of your front shin. Extend your top arm up. Push into your right big toe. Begin to straighten your right leg to capacity. That's the place where you can stay strong in your stretch. And then lift your kneecap on your right leg if your leg is straight. Push into your back heel. Push into your bottom hand. Turn across your chest to the left. Stretch your top arm up and lengthen your spine. Take your prop with you, bend your front knee, stand it. Turn your right foot in, heel as wide as your little toe, and bring your prop into your left hand. Turn your left foot open to the left and lift your arms parallel to the floor. Bend your left knee slightly. Move your hips to the right, torso to the left, and place your hand or your prop to the floor outside of your shin, top arm vertical. Push into your left big toe. And on all straight legs, lift your kneecaps to firm your thighs. Move your right outer hip in. Push into your back heel. Push into your bottom hand. Tone your abdomen in and turn in your chest to the right. Reach your top hand up, lengthen through the crown of your Take your prop with you. Inhale, stand up. Turn your left toes in. Place your fingertips in front of your chest, bend your knees, step or hop your feet together, mountain pose. Extended side angle with a block or knot in your right hand. Place your fingertips in front of your chest, step or hop your feet back. Widen your ankles underneath your wrists. Turn your right foot open to the right. Widen your left heel slightly. Bend your front knee so that your shin is vertical, and place your prop to the floor outside of your foot, or bring your right forearm to your thigh. Swing your top arm in line with your ear. Widen your right knee to the right. Push into your back foot. Tone your abdomen in. Keep moving your right knee to the right and turn your chest to the left. Ribs back. Then, like you're in your crescent pose, stretch through your top hand. Like you're in your eagle pose, lift your chest. If you used a prop, take it with you, stand up. Turn your right foot in, heel as wide as your little toe, bring your prop into your left hand. Turn your left foot open to the left. Bend your front knee, shin vertical. Bring your forearm to your thigh or bring your prop to the floor outside of your front foot. Swing your top arm in line with your ear. Widen your left knee left. Push into your right foot. Keep your left knee moving left, tone your abdomen in and turn in your chest to the right. Like you're in your crescent pose, stretch through your top hand. Take your prop with you, stand up. Turn your left toes in. Place your fingertips in front of your chest, step or hop, mountain pose. All right. I'm going to turn away from you because then I'm going to be twisting in your direction. So bear with me. Bring your block into your left hand for this one. Then reach your arms off to the sides, take a wide stance, and then shorten it a little bit. Bring your hands to your hips. Turn your right foot open to the right. Bring your right hand to your hip. Then turn your back foot in as strong as you can. I even like to jump and turn. Revolve triangle is next. Bring your right hip back. Reach your left arm and prop forward. Push into your back heel. Lift your right kneecap to firm your thigh. Lean forward and lower your block to the floor. Inside, that's more doable, or outside of your front foot, that's more difficult. Keep your right hand on your hip. Push into your back heel. Move your right outer hip back. You can use your hand and then twist in your upper body. Move your shoulder back, then extend your top arm. All right, squeeze your inner thighs in. Move your right hip back. Push from your left shoulder into your left hand. As if you were in eagle arms, lift your chest, turn in your chest, and stretch through your top hand. Great. Take your block with you, stand up, turn your feet to parallel. Place your block into your right hand. Then turn your left foot open, place your left hand to your hip, turn your right foot in as much as you can. So it's at a strong angle toward the short edge of your mat that your right foot is pointing toward. By right foot, I mean left foot. Reach your right arm out in front of you, pull your left hip back. Squeeze your legs in, push into your back heel and lift your kneecap up on both legs. Lean forward, motorcycle in the neighborhood. Line up your head with your foot and place your hand or your block to the floor where it was on the first side. Keep your hand on your left hip. Push into your back heel, lift your front kneecap, and move your left hip back. Twist in your upper body to the left and move your shoulder back. Then extend your top arm up. Push your toes down, squeeze your inner thighs in, move your left hip back, and from your right shoulder, push into your right hand. Like you're in eagle arms and there was resistance there, lift your chest. Turn in your chest and stretch your top arm up and your head out. Take your block with you, stand up, turn your feet to parallel. Step or hop your feet together, and ditch your block. Down dog, please. You do child's pose instead if your energy needs to get a little lower, a little faster. Catch your breath. Down dog is considered to be a neutralizing pose, meaning it's symmetrical and it stretches evenly from side to side, but also from top to bottom. It's a stretch for your shoulders, your spine, your hips, and your legs. If you're in child's pose, make your way to down dog and bring your feet together. Bridget's cross is next. It's sort of a weird one, so we're in it together. I'm going to turn around so you'll be able to see me. Lift your right leg. Then like you were gonna do pigeon pose, but you're not, draw your knee toward your chest, shift forward, but then kick your right foot to the left. Your back heel is still lifted. Lower your right hip to the floor and straighten both legs. So your legs are sort of at a 90-degree angle, but you're sitting on your right outer hip. Push your hands into the floor, slide forward so that your hip moves back, and then stretch your chest through your upper arms like your cobra pose. Push your feet down. You can stay here. Or like you're gonna do a push-up, bend both elbows and hover your chest above the floor. Squeeze your thighs and press your feet down, tone your abdomen in. Then turn the front of your abdomen from the left to the right. Lift both shoulders onto your back and stretch your chest forward like your eagle arms are there. If you can lower your chest to the floor, chin to the floor, and like your 8 angle pose, Ashtangasana, lift your shoulders up. It's brutal. Straighten your arms, push your feet into the floor, down dog. Second side. Lift your left leg. Like you're doing pigeon pose, but you're not. Draw your knee towards your chest, scoot forward so you're in a plank pose, and then kick your left foot to the right. Lower your left hip to the floor. Straighten both legs to the best of your ability so your legs are sort of at a 90-degree angle. Press your hands into the floor, pull back to slide your left hip underneath you. Push your feet down, arms straight, move your chest forward and up. You can stay here. Or, like the bottom of a push-up, bend your elbows. Push your feet down, tone your abdomen in. Then turn the front of your abdomen from the right to the left. Lift both shoulders onto your back. Push your hands into the floor, and as if your eagle arms were there, stretch your chest more forward. If you can, in the first side, you can lower your chest to the floor, chin to the floor. And like your 8 angle, lift your shoulders up, turn your abdomen to the left, and draw both shoulders on your back evenly. Straighten your arms. Push your hands down, feet down, down dog. Whew. Lower your knees to the floor. Lie on your back. Draw your knees in. Bridge pose. Lower your feet to the floor. If you're familiar with upward bow and would prefer to do that instead, you're welcome to do that, but I'm not going to talk you through it. Walk your heels back towards your hips. Although it's considered to be a basic pose and shape, there's a lot that goes into that pose, and a lot more is required than a 30-minute class where I can't see you. So, if you're familiar with it and the alignment that goes with it, great. On you. Otherwise, bridge pose. Either way, walk your heels in towards your hips, feet hip width apart and parallel. Bring your upper arms to the floor and walk your shoulder blades in. Lift your hips up. You can hold the outer edges of your mat again. You can interlace your hands underneath your hips again, or I like to walk my elbows in and bring the heels of my hands to my low back. Shorten your neck and rest your weight into your hands. That's also a great stretch for your wrists. Squeeze your thighs in. Reach your tailbone towards your knees. Squeeze your feet towards your shoulders. And even though your weight is potentially supported in your hands, push your upper arms down, lift your chest. If you have a block, you can also put a block underneath your hips. Hips, not low back. Gently release your arms, lower your hips. Crawl your feet away from your hips, widen your feet, and bring your knees together. Straighten your legs on your mat, bring your legs together. Supta Tadasana. Draw your right leg in, behind your thigh, and release your hands. Push your thigh into your hands until your arms straighten, and then straighten your right leg. Reach through both heels. Release your right leg to meet your left. Draw your left leg in and behind your thigh and release your hands. push your thigh into your arms, into your hands until your arms straighten, and then begin to straighten your left leg. Keep pushing your thigh into your hands. Reach through both feet. Gently release your leg. Lower your feet to the floor. Bend your knees, place your feet to the floor. The next pose is a twist, but go more for lengthening than for a deep twist because we've done so many deep twists already. Walk your feet toward the outer edges of your mat so your feet are wider than your hips, and reach your arms off to the sides. You can bend your elbows like a cactus or a goalpost. Then slide your hips a few inches to the left. Lower both knees to the right so they're staggered. You can keep your right foot where it is, or you can cup your right foot over the front of your left thigh. Keep your right knee close to the floor. Anchor your left shoulder down. Look upward to the left. Then reach from the back of your left rib cage through your left knee, and if your foot is cupped over your thigh, you can extend the top of your left thigh out. Gently lift both knees back up. Move your hips through center to the right. Lower both knees to the left so they're staggered. Walk your right shoulder blade in, look up or to the right. You can keep your left foot where it is, or you can turn your foot in so it's at a slight sickle, and cup your left foot over your right knee. Keep your left knee on the floor. I said knee, really it's like the bottom of your right thigh. Anchor your right shoulder and extend from the back of your right rib cage through your right knee. You can use your left foot to help lengthen. Gently lift your knees back up. Realign your hips with your shoulders. Draw both of your knees in. Happy baby. With your arms inside of your legs, hold your outer feet, knees bent. You can rock side to side. You can also sort of pedal out your legs where you lean into one bent knee and straighten the other leg and switch sides. Gently bend your knees again. Wrap your arms around your shins, recline child's pose. And then release your legs on your mat. Settle in for Shavasana. Pose of breathe pose. Slowly deepen your breath. One at a time, bend your knees. Roll to one side. Gently make your way back up to a comfortable seat. Place your palms to your thighs or place your palms together in front of your heart. Take a moment to recognize all of your effort. Your effort put in is different than the results. It's also different than your expectations or judgment about how you did or how you wish you'd done. Deep reverence and respect to you. Namaste. Thanks for tuning in. Really great to have you. These will continue until we are able to offer yoga inside the tap room. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you soon.